What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. And I said, you know what? Robin had such an insane run yesterday, played so well that I got to do another Robin VOD review. This a little further into the stream where he's starting to hit his, oh god, well, I guess I can move all of this down, where he's hitting his 2.0 average, just absolutely smurf. And he's flexing his own lol chest, man. But yeah, Robin, oh, my head is so low here now. Robin played so well this stream that I feel like I have to VOD review another game. I feel like he really just cracked the patch open, and it's nothing crazy, you know. The last VOD was interesting because it showed his willingness to play around like a Rise Warriors line, which is not something that a lot of people are interested in playing. But at the end of the day, Robin's approach to this patch is get early direction based on the items that you have, the augments that you have. Use that to limit down the comps that you want to play based on what is available in the meta. There, Robin actually had a little like text document open that showed the four default comps that he's willing to play, which are Callista, Rise, Karma Warriors, and Varus. And so what he basically says every game is, okay, like what spot do I have? What items, augments, units do I have? Play to the best spot from there, and just play a good game of TFT. So we start off here with a Twitch 2 already, Warwick pair, some Vanguards as well, so very close to a strong Hunter Vanguards opener here. And then look at our items as well. We have Glove, Belt, and Chain open here. I think the obvious direction from the spot is to play AD. If you go down Robin's list of comps, the most obvious comp here is easily Varus. We have half an Infinity Edge, half an Even Shroud, half of this is like a Protector's Vow, ideally, and we do have these two component anvils open here. So I think it's very easy for that to be our direction here. First three augments. What doesn't kill you? Not today. Raining Gold. Not today. Probably not being taken in this spot. You could, of course, go for like a double, not today, double Edge of Night. But I think it's a little bit awkward, especially because in this meta, who are you putting the double Edge of Night on? You're putting one on Fiora, and then the second one's going on Gwen, I guess. It's a little bit awkward. What doesn't kill you? Fantastic augment, but we're actually in a pretty good spot to win streak here. So why would we take what doesn't kill you when we could actually play for win streak? Raining Gold, a fantastic default augment, so I think we should absolutely look at this. We'll see though. Pyrocrest, Pandora's items are rerolls here. Don't really need Pandora's because once again we have these anvils already, so we don't need this to pick our items for us, because we'll probably have perfect, there's a decent chance we have perfect items after we pop these two anvils. Pyrocrest is an interesting one. The question is Pyrocrest or Raining Gold. Pyrocrest we could play for like a 5 pyro setup. Raining Gold we could just play fast, you know, for Arcana Varus. Let's do a quick stats check. The stats say that Raining Gold is much better, and I believe it. 5 Pyro is fine, but I don't think it's broken enough that you would really want to take it. This would just be Even Shroud in my opinion, but we'll see. Ooh, the tier take here is interesting with the idea that we can make Vow, we can make like a Shojin later down the line. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see it. And then I have to imagine this ends up being Even Shroud unless we want to go double... we just want to make a slam here. Yeah, okay, this looks good. Gonna get Vanguard in here, and we also have Frost in as well, so we can make the Vow, we can make the Even Shroud. He even calls Varus in chat, and I like this call a lot as well, actually, to sell the Mordekaiser here. Makes the board, I'm not even sure if weaker. This Blitzcrank unit has avoided nerfs for so long, and I don't understand how this unit, I'm not even completely confident that Blitzcrank is a worse unit than, you know, Blitzcrank 1 versus Mordekaiser 1. I don't know if I could even say that he's worse. And the upside here is that we guaranteed make 10 gold with the Raining Gold, which means we're going to accelerate our income a lot. All right, quick scout around the lobby. Robin, very diligent about this, just to make sure that there's no issues. This person's built different, so they probably won't actually take a lot of our units. Built diff doesn't tend to play Varus. Maybe they'll fit a Tahm Kench onto their board. We'll see. This person with a Gwynsu Slam and some frontline items made, probably either playing Rise or playing Callista, but I mean, Gwynsu means it's very unlikely for them to play Varus. Let's look at the next one. This person is 1,000,000% playing Varus. Kai Wang here is 1,000,000% going to be Varus. He already has triple like Bis Varus here, so yeah, we gotta worry about that, I guess. This guy with the double Sterax slammed, certainly not going to be a comp that we need to worry about here, so that's good for us. This guy here with double frontline item slammed, also not going to be Varus. This guy, Stars Are Born. Glove, Tier, and Belt open here. They could be a lot of things. This certainly could be Varus. You'd want to scout Cranberries a few more times. He just took Rod though, so that makes this very unlikely Varus. And then this guy is Gwynsu Gargoyle, so this is a Callista game for sure. So one-way contested us and Kai Wang here. I think that's a pretty good outcome. It's interesting though that Robin, you know, he made these slams before actually doing all this scouting, because his components just gave him, and his units gave him really good early direction. I think this is something that I had to learn as a TFT player, and that a lot of people still need to learn, is that there's not necessarily anything wrong with being contested in a game of TFT. More to say, sometimes your best line is a contested line, and a lot of people I think are like, oh, I can't play this comp because I'd be contested by this guy. And obviously, in an ideal world, you're zero-way contested, but sometimes the best way to get to a strong board late game is to just play one-way contested. Look, we know for sure that Kai Wang is playing our comp. Robin even called his comp out in chat to try to dissuade other people from playing it, because think about like someone like I assume this is, I don't actually know if Cranberries is Cramsy or not, but assuming that that's Cramsy, I don't know, maybe it's someone else who's memeing Cramsy's name, but if that is Cramsy, assume Cramsy sees, okay, I could play Varus from this spot, but Robin's already slammed all these components. Also, IE would be huge here. IE on the Wukong would be great as well, though I don't know if we're necessarily going to play Wukong. We have 2 out of 3 Honey Mancy and 2 out of 3 Frost, so I assume we want to get to Frost and then Honey Mancy and stuff. And yeah, with this sword take, now Robin is like, I am guaranteed going to be playing this comp, which I think makes perfect sense. But yeah, think about somebody like Cramsy here, who has those components open. He has tier, chain, and belt open. Very easily, that could be something. I actually wasn't tier. There was a glove in there. It could easily something like Vow, i.e., Even Shroud, i.e., and he could play towards Varus as well. But he scouts. He sees Robin's already slammed all these components. Robin knows that he's playing for this comp. Then Cramsy says, you know what? Okay, I'll just play something else. He takes Rod. He's gonna make Morello or something, and then end up playing for like a Karma game. So it's really, really. Sometimes if you try to end up zero-way contested, you're like, oh no, this guy's playing Varus, so I'll pivot and I'll play Karma. But then oh, that guy's playing Karma, so I'll pivot, and you end up getting so confused with like what comp you're actually playing that you end up actually playing nothing, and it goes really, really poorly for you. So just something to keep in mind. Sometimes the most straightforward line, the one that makes the most sense from your spot, is the best one to play. And also the other part of that is that if we tried to pivot this into like a Karma game somehow, say Robin was like, okay, you know what, I'm one-way contested in this Varus line. I'm going to play Karma this game because I don't want to be contested. I'm gonna make like Morello, and then I'm gonna take this tier and then int for like a blue buff or something. Our opener also does not make any sense to play into Karma here. We have a Twitch 2 that we want to item hold here. It's so beneficial for us to be playing into Varus, because we can slam all these really, really good Varus items onto Twitch here, which is huge for us. So that's something to think about as well, is that, ooh, Gargoyle, perfectly fine slam here in this situation, so Robin's just going to make it immediately. I think that makes a lot of sense. We can even take Econ Charm here, which is fantastic as well. But yeah, like, even if you end up in a situation where, maybe you could pivot and play something uncontested, think about what that does to your opener, right? If we have a Morello blue buff Twitch here, I feel like it would be doing much worse than this Twitch here. The Twitch plays so naturally into Varus. He carries the item so well. We can even think about potentially carrying, like holding on to some of the extra stuff that we might need down the line. Hecarim's kind of hard to fit onto the board, but other stuff potentially. All right, next augment here. Sport Golem's broken. Capricious Forge is broken as well, though. I'm trying to think in this comp who you would Capricious Forge. I guess it would be someone like Hecarim, and then like late game you could throw it onto someone good. It's a fantastic augment. I would just go for Support Golem here. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Robin only has eyes for Support Golem. Banshee's not even that bad. It's not amazing in this comp. You would definitely prefer this if you were playing for some kind of like better frontliner, but 25% attack speed for the Varus is not bad. Could almost even mean that we could not focus so much on building an attack speed item for him down the line. You could maybe go just like full damage on him. You probably still want something though, but you don't 100% need you don't need an attack speed item as much now that we have this golem, so that's good. And CC exists on the backline. Stuff like Tom Kench exists. There's a lot of stuff that can end up getting onto the backline here, so not even so bad to have something like this. I just remember way back in the day, and obviously this is a completely different comp, watching Rainplosion play snipers. They were called snipers last set, right? With like, or was it 2 sets ago at this point? Whatever, snipers. And Rainplosion taking a Banshee's Veil, and that was mostly because you just wanted to, line up all your snipers on the back line. It was a little bit different, like Senna giving your dudes attack speed and stuff like that. So, slightly different situation, but the moral of the story is that something like a Banshee's isn't always bad when you're playing a backline focus comp like this. Guaranteeing that your Varus can't get CC'd is really, really nice here. So yeah, I mean, that's the spot we're in. The other really, really nice thing about this spot is we are level 7, 40 gold here before Carousel. Robin is just so rich from the raining gold and for making gold early. That's a Varus on Carousel, sadly. We cannot get to that, but I think we want to build just towards like another idea, ideally. Sword or glove here, yeah. I guess sword is more flexible in that it can also be Shojin. It can also be Deathblade. Glove can also be some other good stuff, but we don't ever really want to make a Last Whisper because we've made Even Shroud. So I think this is a very smart take from Robin here, just to go for the sword. It can be way more stuff, yeah. Shojin, I mean, even GS, right? Shojin, IE, GS, Deathblade. You don't really want to go like a Gunblade or Edge of Night or anything, or BT, but like that's 4 really solid options, where glove can basically, it can be double IE, which is really good, it can be Guardbreaker, which is really good, and then the other options are like a little sus. You know, Quicksilver's not terrible but not amazing. Definitely don't want to Last Whisper. So yeah, I mean, if you think about it like that, I think the sword makes a ton of sense from Robin, and just that it can be more components, and it makes a lot of sense, right? This kind of stuff is I think a lot of people will glaze over stuff like this. Is glaze over the phrasing? In any case, a lot of people will be like, oh, you know, he took that off Carousel and, you know, it's whatever. But this could actually change your entire game, right? If you take a glove here and then you end up getting components that, you know, don't actually fit with the glove, the big thing would be like a tier here. And then I guess you could still go Hodge, which is not too bad. But, you know, imagine you take an item that gives you less options and then you actually get punished for having those fewer options. It can actually wreck your entire game. So it's very good, very consistent play from Robin, which is certainly what he's known for. 50 gold here, level 7, pre-pumped. We probably are going to level here. He does another scouts. Let's look at Kai Wang's board, because he does go look at Kai Wang for a second here. And this is, Kai Wang is our contester here, doing another really good scout. How far is Kai Wang? Oh, this is kind of interesting, actually. I wonder if Kai Wang also sees that Robin is going to play Varus and says, you know what, I don't really want to be contested, and there's actually a world. He's holding on to Ez here. He's holding on to Varus pair. There is a world actually where Kai Wang decides to play Ezreal reroll from this spot. He's holding on to a lot of the Vanguards as well. We'll see. It really just depends on if Kai Wang goes 8, because he took this 3's company augment, or 3's a crowd, 3's a something augment. But you can play it in either comp, really. I believe, as long as you can, yeah, I mean, you're fitting Hecarim, I don't know. We'll see on the world and what we end up playing. There's the double IE, and even a Renans is not bad. But yes, this is going to be the early level up from Robin. Takes a while to actually find a single Varus. There's a Morgana that can also fit onto the board here. Beautiful, really nice transition here. Anybody who says Robin has bad APM, I mean, who are we talking about here? He does need to get the Arcane Selector onto the Tahm Kench, but he slams item first. Yeah, we should try to Arcane Selector the TK before, because you can slam items during fight. You can't Arcane Selector the TK during fight, but maybe no punish for it. Okay, yeah, we're chilling here. So no punish for that. Very good here. And also note, he slammed the double IE, but he didn't actually slam Renans yet because he wants to potentially keep this bow open for the red buff. We'll see if he ends up slamming versus not. Augment-wise here, Stand United. This comp has so many traits in. You can already see we have 7 traits in. This is exactly what the comp wants to do, so Stan seems great here. We're Tahm Kench paired here, so how much does Robin want to roll here? He rolls once and picks up a Tahm Kench 2, which is huge for him, because now it was a little bit awkward, right? The only significant pair we had there was Tahm Kench. Now that we've rolled once, we've hit Tahm Kench 2. Now Robin's actually in a really interesting spot where he can decide to not roll so much. He's hit also some crucial upgrades, the Rumble 2, the Shen 2. These little upgrades matter a lot. I think a lot of people, once again, they tend to sort of, you know, not care so much about hitting these really crucial upgrades. Also, looking at Kai Wang's board, he did go fast 8 and he did decide to play Varus, though he only has 1 Varus as well, so it's actually not so sad from a contest standpoint. But yeah, like having these small upgrades actually does matter a lot when you're playing any comp, really. And you know, a lot of people will say, you know, like, why was my board weak? Why wasn't I winning fights? And you look at their board and they're like, well, you hit a Tahm Kench 2, and then your entire rest of your board was 1-starred. But you know, the difference between this board with stuff like Shen 2, Rumble 2, Bard 2, Ari 2, and with all of those things, it's actually a huge difference. All these little units, the damage they do, the utility, the CC they do, you know, does add up. So good that a great spot for Robin, and all of this to say that it is potentially possible that we can just walk straight to 9 here with 67 gold and a lot of, or 67 HP and a decent amount of gold with an econ augment. Something certainly to think about. Kai Wang here, double Varus it looked like now, so a little scary. Robin either looking for a red buff or something else, and ooh, it looks like he is going to get it. That is huge. This is in many ways, what are we doing here? That was weird. This is in many ways BIS Varus. I think this is a lot of people when they're asked about what BIS Varus is, they say this is it, i.e. red buff. The idea being that he needs an item to get him casting faster. That's the red buff. And then IE is an insane amount of damage. I think he just burned a remover to move that over to Morgana, which was a bit weird. But I mean, he doesn't really need the remover, probably, unless he wants to move an item off of Thomas Kench. So I guess this is fine, but that's kind of hilarious. But yeah, the spot's looking great. You can see, once again, his board is strong right now because he has those little upgrades, because he has the Tom Kench too. He can actually just coast to 9. And this is another thing that I think a lot of people... like take for granted when they watch good players play. Oh, no. We are not putting that on Hecarim. Oh, we are for sure putting that on Tom Kench, I would think. Yeah, okay. I completely agree with that. But yeah, I would say this is something that a lot of people take for granted, is knowing when to stop rolling. When you watch a player like Robin play the game, it seems so obvious. He stopped at the Tom Kench, but I coach people. Link to my Metafy down below if you're interested in getting coaching, by the way. I've seen a lot of students, they will see this Tom Kench 2 and they'll pick it up and then continue rolling, and they'll be like, oh, I thought I needed Varus 2 to stop. Like, understanding when you are actually stable, and part of it is these little upgrades that Robin had. Once again, like if we didn't have Shen 2, if we didn't have Rumble 2, the spot would look a lot worse, but because we have those, it feels a lot better. Understanding when to stop is a huge skill in TFT. And now look at this, we get to go 9 with 40 gold, get another trait in here. We can potentially roll for 5 costs. The big stuff, hitting stuff like the Xerath is huge. Support item here. What do you even take here? Randuin's? I mean, it has to be Randuin's, right? I mean, Randuin's is not even... Actually, Randuin's is pretty good. It's just that Robin isn't positioned for it right now, but he can position for it. You could even leave the Tom Kench solo frontline and then position for it, but it must be Randuin's, right? And then item-wise, at this point, you tend to start looking for... items for the Xerath here. Adaptive Helm is a really, really nice one. So I imagine that'll be our take. He's looking at Sword, though, and he's just going to make a BT for the Morgana. Robin, itemizing units that he has. I think this is a good habit to just say, I could start itemizing the Xerath, but I don't have Xerath yet. So why not just itemize the units that I have right now, as opposed to trying to go for the perfect, items for units that don't even exist. There's a nice flex roll down from Robin, holding on to the Briars as well. And boom, there's Briar too. That is really, really nice from Robin. This is a unit that, it doesn't have a trait on the board. So I think a lot of people would say, like, why do we pick up Briar here? She's 0 trait on our board, but Briar, she's strong enough as a 5 cost. The CC that she provides, the just carry potential that she provides with this BT is enough that she's going to be good on this board. You could think about the Nasus, yeah, and Robin's looking at it. The only question is, how do you actually fit this guy on the board? You have to cut some kind of very, very nice trait here to get Nasus in on this board. So we'll see what Robin ends up actually thinking about cutting here, because it's really, I don't really want to lose Bastion. I think the most cuttable thing might just be Preserver here with the Morgana, but we'll see. Arcana emblem from Charm here for this round is fantastic. And boom, I mean, now we got Morgana too. So yeah, he does end up just cutting out Bastion here to play the Nasus. I mean, I think it makes a decent amount of sense. It's a little sad because the Bastion value on your entire board is so big. The Armor Mar is fantastic with all this extra HP we have. Also, man, every fight, it feels like we're fighting a super tank. This is crazy. We're actually stuck on Varus 1, and the spot that looked so good, we're down to 20 HP. This is actually a little scary for Robin, even though look at our board. Our board is so good. There's also an open Sterax on Carousel. That would be amazing for us. Whoa, we were looking at Guardbreaker for a second. That was weird, but I think the Sterax, yeah, this is fantastic here. But we need Varus 2. It looked like Kai Wang had Varus 2 as well. I think we have enough gold that you... Ooh, yeah, I think I would roll past that. I agree. And then, I mean, honestly, a bunch of belts is not even bad here. Yeah, getting a bunch of belts onto our Morgana, onto our Briar is really, really nice. Where did we get this extra belt from? I don't even know, but okay. He'll just throw that down there, but all good. All right, we're fighting the other Varus board. Now, this board actually we might have a better matchup into than the other boards. And if we can kill Kai Wang, oh, he's so low. If Kai Wang goes down, that's 3 Varuses back in the pool. That means it's a lot easier for us to actually find our Varus too. There's finally Xerath. Now, how are we going to fit Xerath onto this board? Because there's a lot of very good units that we don't want to cut. If you cut... Okay, because it's kind of difficult, right? Like, if you cut this, you're losing Preserver and you're losing Scholar, which are 2 great traits. And, it's 2 traits for Stand United. It's 2 traits for the Thomas Kench as well. So it's kind of tough. He looks to just cut Hecarim here, and he's going to play Xerath as just kind of a... a bot for his ascendant, his ability to get the ascendant charms. Another fight versus this giant Nunu. This is really where the Varus board struggles, is getting through these giant mega tanks here. And once again, we're going to fight this board. At least we snipe backline and take a 1-unit loss versus Cramsey, or whoever's using Cramsey's name. But Kai Wang crucially does die here. Now that Kai Wang's gone, this means that we have the possibility of picking up a Varus 2 much more likely, which is huge. Yeah, Robin's really in the tank thinking about how to potentially fit these units, because, yeah, I mean, like, normally you really do want to fit for Arcana on this board, but it's hard to fit everything, right? The Briar is taking the slot that you would normally play for Arcana in, and because we're playing the Nasus, where we're not really, we don't care that much about Bastion. So, I mean, in many ways, this looks like a really pretty version of the board where he just took out the units that don't really make that much sense, and put in units that are stronger here, which, makes a lot of sense. Rolling down here, just trying to pick up a good charm and hoping we can find Varus too. But once again, we are just going to take the charms that make sense here. We are going to go for a last Briar item here, which is huge. The Titan's Resolve, very, very nice. So we have a triple item Briar here. Also, important to note that we do have the Banshees onto her. Robin considers feeding there because this is a scary matchup. But once again, David Hayes actually, I think, is someone who we have an okay matchup into. This fight's really close, but we win. Yeah. The hard matchups, and Cramsey dying is actually huge for us. The hard matchups are the people with the mega tanks, the people who it feels impossible for us to actually kill those tanks. Oh, he's gonna go for the feed now because he knows that there's not a big chance. Oh, there's Varus too, and oh my god, wait, let's go back and look at this. This was actually genius from Robin. Really, really actually important here that he did this. This actually might have saved his entire game. Buying this Rumble here might have saved his entire game, because he rolls again here, and now if he didn't hold this Rumble, he could not have sold Rumble and remade to buy this Varus. Because he holds this Rumble here, he actually gets to sell the Rumble, make Varus 2, and it actually, I mean, now we have Varus 2 on our board, which is a huge, huge spike. Like, that looked small, but that actually might have saved his entire game. Ooh, what is this positioning? He's moving up. The idea being that Varus can potentially snipe Kalista with this positioning is the hope here, and that they have to get through our front line. We didn't end up sniping the Kalista, but we did stomp this board. Now that we have Varus 2, huge. It's just the little stuff. The little stuff matters so much in TFT. You take it for granted when you're watching a VOD like this. When you're watching a really, really good player play TFT, you would say, of course I would do that in the moment. But as somebody who is decent at TFT, I think I'm not on Robin's level, but I'm pretty good at TFT. So often I will miss that tiny little step, holding on to the Rumble, because I'm a little bit lazy. And look at this. This game goes from, we were looking at potentially, going bot 4 this game. It's already a top 2 here, and we beat David Ace before. It could be a top 1. And just because of that little thing, if we hadn't done that, like, this game could have been a 4th, could have been a 5th. But holding that one extra unit actually, and oh my god, David Ace actually ends up losing to the giant Rakan, actually, which is fantastic for us. A little bit more damage there onto him. I guess Static Shiv is fine. We're just gonna go Spark. Oh yeah, Spark is better because it actually can be held onto Morgana as a good item. The Declaw here is also really, really nice for the Morgana as well versus this board. I think we have a great chance of winning this. But yeah, just to shout out for Robin making that really, really small play that ends up being a huge, huge play here. Positions in a pretty good spot. Just, we want to be opposite side of Ryze so that there's no chance that Ryze can snipe backline. We are opposite side Ryze here, which is really good. Great ult from the Briar as well. The Briar getting a little bit low here. This fight's a tad bit scary, but we are going to win this fight, and it is a dub, another one for Robin. I don't know. There's so many really, really small things this game that Robin did beautifully. It's not flashy. It's not, he's playing, X comp, and this is the comp that you should abuse to gain a million LP. It's really just, he did all the little stuff really, really, really well. He just did every tiny little optimization that you can do, and it got him to it first. I love that Rumble hold, because that Rumble hold, that was the difference between him going probably 4th this game and him going 1st, which was crazy. So hope you guys enjoyed this VOD review. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check my Twitch and all the other links down below. And I shouted out my Metafy if you guys are interested in coaching. If you guys want to get better at TFT, then check out my coaching. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.